It has been reported that the Chicago Bulls staff was disappointed in Dalen Terry's performance during Summer League. You already know I'm going to talk about it, but you got to hit the music first.
Cognac. Gang.
Shy Bulls podcast with the Cognac Boys. I'm Cognac Boy Bobby, and I'm holding it down on another episode of Shy Bulls podcast for me and my co-host C-Dub. If you like what you're listening to today, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and shake that notification bell so every time we drop, you be one of the first ones to know. Now, look, I did some digging, and it was reported by Keith Smith of Spot Rack. Pretty much saying that this guy spoke with some staffers from the Chicago Bulls after Summer League, and one of those staffers called Dalen Terry's Summer League struggles a disappointment. He went on to say, and quote, "It's been disappointing to see Dalen really struggle to shoot the ball. He can do just about everything else, but if he can't figure out the shot, it'll be hard to get regular rotation minutes. We have a very competitive wing and guard group," end quote. So, I mean, I know sometimes these guys don't want to put their name behind these quotes, and these guys that go out and do reports, they want to show respect to their sources. But me personally, I like when guys put their name on wax. But in some cases, in these professional environments, you got to kind of hold on to that. But when we talk about Dalen Terry, this is a guy who, in year one, we was like, man, let's get him more tick. And then, the season went on, things happened, whatever happened. And then we came into this offseason like, man, in Summer League, Dalen Terry is expected to play in his second Summer League. And we expecting to see him take a step forward. And that's rightfully so. Many of us wanted to see Dalen Terry put 1 foot forward and take a step forward to where we be like, yes, you have to put him in a rotation. But now I can't even be mad, if we're being honest, if he struggles to get some of those minutes. Me personally, I would say we should look at Summer League, but it should not be the end all be all to determine if Dalen Terry should receive minutes within the rotation. This guy, one of the Bulls staffers, he pretty much was right. He was right on the money. The Bulls, they added competition, and they are very competitive in the wing group and the guard group. So, yes, Dalen Terry can do a number of things, but the Bulls need to get better when it comes to putting up points. Adding that shot from Dalen Terry is essential to him getting minutes within that rotation. Because in Summer League, the stats read for Dalen Terry, 12.6 points, and he just shot 33.8% from the field and 34.8% from the three-point line. And man, if we keeping it a buck, those are not very good. That's why I came out in one of the last videos that I did on Dalen Terry, was saying that if we keeping it a buck, his Summer League performance is just at a C+. You know what I'm saying? And I know that we, including myself, be like, well, sometimes players have bad Summer Leagues. And that's true. You know what I'm saying? So I hope that the Chicago Bulls still give him another opportunity to make a name for himself. I expect something like that to happen in preseason, you know what I'm saying? Because you don't want to, overwork your starters, because it's a long regular season, and now they have the in-season tournament stuff going on. We'll see how serious organizations are going to take that. But, you know what I'm saying, Dalen Terry will have another opportunity, and in that opportunity, he must show up, or he will be pushed towards the end of that rotation, in my personal opinion. We don't know. We've seen guys get two-way contracts and seen guys get signed. We've seen Julian Phillips go ahead and get him a 4-year deal. You've seen Amada Sanogo. I don't see that he's going to be competing for a wing spot. But, you know what I'm saying? It's just guys that's going to be out there competing for minutes. He is on a two-way contract, but they can always call this guy up. I know there are limitations for the number of games that Sanogo can play, but you never know if he gets called up, and, you know what I'm saying, he might get some minutes. So Dalen Terry has to perform. We still don't know what's going on with Ayo Dosunmu as of right now. And if he does come back, that's just putting a more, even more of a log jam within guys that are trying to get minutes. You know what I'm saying? They picked the Chicago Bulls. They added Torrey Craig to the mix. They add Javon Carter to the mix. And so it just like the staffer said, things are about to get really, really interesting for the Chicago Bulls. And I think that another takeaway from the quote is that he has to shoot something. He has to find a way to put the ball in the basket, because I'm of the mindset that the Chicago Bulls added a player development coach like Peter Patton for reasons of putting the ball in the basket. They went and got Javon Carter, a 40%, you know what I'm saying, 3-point shooter, and a guy that gives you 40% from the field. That's much better from Dalen Terry. Then Torrey Craig, another 3-and-D guy, shot above the league average in 3-point shooting. So Dalen Terry has to be able to bring something. I understand we can go ahead and be like, yes, he's going to defend. He's going to provide energy. He's going to get out on a run. He's solid in transition. He's able to, you know what I'm saying, play make a little bit. Still needs to get it under control a little bit, but he's able to play make. And what will be the icing on the cake for me, and from what it appears from the coaching staff, is if he can add that consistent shot. In the last game, you've seen Dalen Terry go 4 for 5 from the 3-point line. I'm not saying he needs to do that every game, but I think he needs to be more consistent so he can go ahead and get the time we all feel he deserves. But he has to earn it. It's not going to be given to him, and that's what I kind of like. You know what I'm saying? These guys are going to make them work. I think that I kind of feel like the Chicago Bulls are trying to, give these young guys an opportunity, but they have to rise to the occasion, because just being a play-in team is not good enough. AK, he said it plenty of times. The fans deserve better. And you fucking right. We do deserve better. So look, as much as we love this guy, he has to show up. Because if we keeping it a buck, summer league for me, C+. We understand that you've been putting in work. The handle look a little bit better, still needs a little bit of work. The shot looking a little better as far as form, but you got to get the shots to fall too. You know what I'm saying? Especially when we came into summer league with high expectations, and to be honest, it was a letdown. So I'm understanding where they're coming from, and I'm understanding it's not just the Bulls staff. I honestly believe that the front office was a bit disappointed as well. Like, some of us will have a little bit more reserve when it's evaluating some of the players we like, but it is a business, and guys got to rise to the occasion, and this is a production type business. I don't give a damn how much I'm paying you, but if you come in and you giving poor performances and the production is not matching the money, that's a problem for me. And that's just me thinking at the business aspect. But me personally, when I'm looking at it, I'm not going to castigate Dalen Terry that much simply because it's just summer league. We seen some flashes last season when he did have time. So me personally, I want to see him in NBA actions against guys that are actually on NBA teams with a lot more talent that's present in summer league. So, you know what I'm saying? I want to see him in that space. And then I like to add on, the reason I'm not going to go ahead and go crazy on him is simply because, just like I previously mentioned and in the last few videos, Dalen Terry missed valuable time, man. Sitting on the bench, it was cool to learn how to be a professional, but to develop that game, he needed time. And I know that Keegan Murray is way above Dalen Terry right now. And I'm not going to compare to them, see where either of those guys end up as players in this league, as stars, et cetera, et cetera. But I will say that what the Sacramento Kings did by giving Keegan Murray minutes, building confidence in him, and allowing him to get meaningful minutes in games down the stretch of the season, moving decreasing Harrison Barnes minutes in the playoffs to play Keegan Murray more. Those were valuable moments. Those were valuable minutes in intense playoff games that help mold some of the best players and even some of the best role players. That's the opportunity that the Chicago Bulls missed out on when it came to Dalen Terry, especially when the Bulls was kind of on that roll in the second half of the season, fighting for their lives. Now, and I understand both sides of it, because on one side, I'll be like, Dalen Terry needed that tick. But then as a coaching staff, you got to say, man, we got to play the best players to give us an opportunity or at least try to make the playoffs. And that they did. So yes, we don't always like those type of decisions, but we got to keep it a buck. They fought hard to try to make the playoffs, even though I still feel there could have been some minutes given to Dalen Terry at some point within that last stretch of the second half, at some point to help him grow as a young player. But now it's up to him. The ball is in his court. He got to rise to the occasion. He has to step it up. And that's what it really is, because the performance was mid. He was outshined in Summer League. We talked a lot about JFL. We talked about Yago Dos Santos. We talked about Amada Sanogu. And maybe that's when we even talked about Julian Phillips about 2 games. And those 4 guys, they should not have been talked about more than Dalen Terry, in my opinion. It shouldn't have happened. But I'm not going to kill him. He's still a young guy. I'm not going to sell everything by Summer League performances. I'm going to still give him another chance. But the ball is in his court. He has to take control of this moment, seize the moment, and take over. We rooting for you over here, Dalen Terry. We've been calling for you to get minutes all the way since last season, but you got to take it, my brother. You got to take it. And that includes doing everything that you've been doing defensively and offensively, but you got to add the shot to that offensive bag for yourself, my guy. So good luck to you. And that's it today. That's it from me on today's episode of Shy Boys Podcast. Make sure you hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. If you want to chime in, go ahead and call in or send a text message to our voicemail line, and you can be on a mailbag episode to where we react to what you got to say. That number is 773-242-9219. It's another episode of Shy Boys Podcast. I'm Bobby. I'm going to catch y'all on the next one for sure.
Cognac. Gang.